Please rise in body and or spirit and join us in hymn number 346, Come Sing a Song with Me. Thanks to all of you for coming and sharing a song with me. My name is Lori Douglas. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I am wearing a beachy-looking kind of shirt that's got a couple birds and some sand, and I'm honored to be your worship associate today. This is the service of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Charlotte County, soon to be the Unitarian Universalist boat of Charlotte County. Each week, we gather together by sending an invitation, even as we are scattered in many different places, and whether our service be virtual or live. We are a faith that honors and celebrates all religions. Let us note, this month of October holds the high holy days of the Jewish faith, including Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur and Sukkot. If I said that right, I don't know if I did. But the Hindus begin the month with a bunch of festivals. They start with honoring the goddess Durga and then go for 10 days of goddesses and value them all. There's another festival at the end of October, and it's called Diwali. It's a Hindu festival, the Festival of Lights, and that symbolizes the victory of good over evil. Whatever your faith or your country of origin, you are welcome here. Whoever you are, whoever you love, you are welcome here. Whether you entered on little feet or walked in briskly or kind of limped and rolled in, you are welcome here. Whether you're relatively new to our community or have been an active member for decades, you are welcome here. I'd like to mention a few items that help this service run smoothly. Most of you know this, but some may not. We are broadcast live on YouTube, and that recording will be available after the after the service. On the YouTube channel, it's a UUFCC YouTube channel. Consequently, for privacy concerns, it's our practice then to use first names and last initials where necessary. It's a good time to put your phones on meditation mode. For those of us who are here virtually, you may wish to have a chalice or candle available for lighting that at home. Finally, I'm thankful for all of the dedicated people here today. We have a community, and it's made possible by you. Please raise your hand if you decorated for this service, if you cleaned or weeded or made this sacred space the beautiful surrounds that is a delight to be here. Oh, we got 1, 2, 2, yep, okay, yay. Who worked on the presentation or preparation of our service, from the music to in tech to administration to planning to working on the budget, or we'll be singing a song today, and the order of service. Okay, raise your hand if you're involved in that. Very good. Very good. Okay. Please raise your hand if you've greeted someone new to you, if you've appreciated our artwork, or you will contribute to the collection today. All right. Yeah. And we're especially grateful for all of you who made the effort to come to the service today, whether in person or virtually, to make up this vibrant community. If you're new here or returning from some time away, please stand and wave in body or spirit. State your first name, where you're from, so that we can welcome you. Anybody relatively new or back from up north? Okay.
Check.
Hi, Charlie.
From Maryland.
Charlie from
I'm from Maryland, dude.
Welcome, Charlie.
Oh, thanks a lot.
If you haven't already, take an opportunity, Charlie, to meet with anybody here and find out more about us. If you're new at home, you can wave to us too. And if you'd like to learn more about our fellowship, you can email Anna or Sandy at office@uufcc.org or visit our website, which is very cool. And wherever you are, we're glad you've chosen to spend your time with us this morning. We'll now have a reading by Reverend Ann, and if you'd like to read along, it's number 482 in your hymnal.
I'm Ann. I'm extra short. I'm hoary-headed. My pronouns are her, she, hers. And I'm delighted to be here today and see all of you. If it is language that makes us human, half of a language is to listen. Silence can exist without speech, but speech cannot live without silence. Listen to the speech of others. Listen even more to their silence. To pray is to listen to the revelations of nature, to the meaning of events. To listen to music is to listen also to silence, and to find the stillness deepened and enriched. This comes from Unitarian Universalist Jacob Trapp.
Thank you, Ann. Jim will now have a prelude for us. was lovely, Jim. Thank you so much. Wow. I just put a cough drop in my mouth. Our cellist lighting today is from the Soul Matters team. It's called The Echo of Inner Wisdom. We light this chalice to remember the light within, to know the hunger we feel inside. It's an echo of an inner wisdom that wants something more. For us, for others, for this weary yet wonderful world. Now, while Crystal is lighting our chalice here in the sanctuary, and those of you who are at home and lighting your chalices, please join me in reciting our affirmation. Love is the spirit of this fellowship. Aspiration to dwell together in peace, seek truth and love, and to help one another. Please rise in body and or spirit to join us in the music for number 33 in our gray hymnal called Sovereign and Transforming Grace. This is a new one for us, so just jump on in whenever you feel comfortable. It's a great song. October 7th, tomorrow, is the one-year mark of the beginning of the genocide in Gaza. Our opening words are from the UU's for Justice in the Middle East. Reverend Drew Patton of the First Presbyterian Church of Berkeley shares this with us. He's a justice-oriented minister who is trying to answer this call. It seems that what the world needs now more than ever is people willing and wanting and working to be human. This is called I Side with the People. If ever they ask you, whose side are you on? Tell them plainly, I side with the people. With the precious ones, all the integral, the soft and the fierce and the irreplaceable, the beloved, if only by God and trees, who are born, who breathe, and survive. Say, I side with those who keep watch beneath the bright, screaming arc of bombs, with those who hide in dark hideways and doorways, or who, though through the moonlight flee, with those who stay and fight, and with those kept up all night by hunger and grief and terror and rage, by desperate, unruly hope, who are good and green at the root, who are more than the worst they've done, who do their best to love and still pass on the hurt in themselves that they hate. But what when they take sides against each other, the people, even against themselves? Side with whatever is human in them, what is fragile and feeling and flesh. Side with the truth of our stories. Side with the fact of our pain. Side with defiant insistence on freedom. Side there again and again. Side there today and tomorrow. Side there the rest of your life. Side there together until we belong, each one, to every other. If ever they ask you, which side are you on? Say, it doesn't work like that. Tell them you side with the people and abide where the people are at. We have a long tradition at UUFCC of sharing our joys, our sorrows, and our life milestones by entering them into the book of life. These messages can be written in the red book, which lives in the back of the sanctuary over there, and will arrive in the hands of Betty. Those at home are welcome to email your entries to the book of life at uufcc.org. Thank you, Betty. We also embrace the tradition of dropping stones in the bowl over here, in silence or sharing briefly aloud. There will be time for announcements later in the service. All right. 10:6. Not signed. We all think this. May we all be safe through the storm we will face this week. Next, Betty writes, Charlotte Harbor LULAC would like to thank all of you for your support. We had our dinner and dance yesterday. We're our first fundraiser for LULAC Scholarship Fund. Congratulations, Betty, and all those who attended and belong to LULAC. And we don't have to be Latino to support LULAC, like we don't have to be Black to support NAACP, so please jump on board as you are able. So I now invite you to come forward and drop a stone. Come on up this way, should you choose, either in silence or share briefly aloud.
Good morning. I'm Patrick, and a couple concerns. Right now I'm dealing with maybe 3 months of spinal stenosis in my lumbar area. So it presents in numbing of my feet, which is a fall risk, and then aching of my legs and hips. But I have a procedure on the 23rd that is supposed to take all that away. A good friend who we dance with had it, and she is pain-free. So I haven't been dancing for like 3 weeks. And another concern is we have no water at home because we need a new well dug. So the pump went, but we can manage where I go to my gym for a shower. And so we're waiting. The permit has been requested but not approved yet. So who knows? They have to dig a new well. But I always say a gay country boy can survive. So, yeah.
I don't think I need this, but
Yeah, you
do
do.
I? Hey, I just want to say thank you for reaching out to me, for all the people who have helped me, and for the enduring friendships that I've enjoyed for the last 10 years. I haven't attended UU for quite some time, but I just want to say from the bottom of my heart that I've never felt more loved and supported by many, many people, and I'll try and make this brief, but it started with me joining and my father dying shortly thereafter, and everyone sending me a card, and I have never been blown away more than that gesture in my entire life. So thank you so very much for everything.
I just wanted to share that I bought a plane ticket for Newark, New Jersey for tomorrow morning at 5:35, so I'm glad I had that option.
Do they have any more seats?
Hi, I'm putting that stone in for all the people that have been affected by Hurricane Helene, and for all the people that are going to be affected by, who's the next one? That one.
Okay.
I wanted to drop a stone really quick for the people in Palestine who are continuing in their decades-long fight to reestablish their homeland, and I believe that they will, with their enduring spirit, one day find it again. Is it okay if I read a poem?
Sure, go ahead.
I wanted to read a poem by a Gazan artist who unfortunately passed away earlier this year, but I find it really important. I feel like it's inspiring not only to them, but to all of us, and we could all think about this. This is If I Must Die by Rifat Al-Arir. If I must die, you must live to tell my story, to sell my things, to buy a piece of cloth and some strings, make it white with a long tail, so that a child somewhere in Gaza, while looking heaven in the eye, awaiting his dad who left in a blaze, and bid no one farewell, not even to his flesh, not even to himself, sees the kite, my kite you made, flying up above, and thinks for a moment an angel is there, bringing back love. If I must die, let it bring hope, let it be a tale.
I add this stone to the waters in memory of Mary Tulip. She served as the office administrator for the Congregational United Church of Christ in Punta Gorda. She was slated to retire on Friday. Unfortunately, she ended up in the hospital prior to that, and yesterday they announced her death.
Oh, jeez.
Please remember the Congregational United Church of Christ, her husband, Dick Tulip, and all of the family and friends.
Mm.
Hi, I dropped this stone for all of my Jewish friends who are experiencing or going through their Jewish New Year. I'm hoping that they start their new year with peace and love and good fortune. And I'll be atoning my sins with them next week at Yom Kippur.
Fran Wagner, dear friend of mine. Fran Wagner, a dear friend of mine. She died this week after she took herself off life support. And I sat with her and comforted her and supported her while she died.
Mm.
There are people in this room that I love so much. Like, you can't imagine how much.
Oh.
And so many others here. That's why I'm here. I wouldn't be here if there weren't love here. There is love abounding here. Thank you so much.
Always a danger when I come to the microphone. The first stone is in memory of Betty Munford, dear friend of mine who passed away. I had seen her a couple of months ago, just before I left for Europe, and I was gone for 2 months. And while I was there, then I got the notice that Betty had passed away unexpectedly. There will be a celebration of life here on the 26th, and I plan to participate in that service and honor her with some music which she loved. The second stone is a celebration that I have already delivered my mail-in ballot, and so I'm encouraging everyone to do that. I won't violate the law by telling you for whom to vote, but I would encourage you to exercise that right. And the third stone is out of concern for the congregation. And yes, it is a congregation of love and support. There's been a recent, hopefully, tempest in a teacup type of event, some bumps in the road. My personal experience is that that's not unusual. I've served in a lot of congregations, and those things happen. I just would like to encourage everyone to have a spirit of love for all concerned, and also to make sure that we really practice our UU principles. I can say that, and it sounds like a lecture, I'm a friend of the congregation. Politically, I've always not joined a congregation where I was on staff, so I'm still a friend of the congregation. But I would encourage you in your meditation, if you pray, to pray, and encourage a feeling of support for all people who feel a little wounded or hurt in some way, and just to make sure that we are exercising love for everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. The second to last stone is in gratitude for Jim to come and pitch hitting. It's wonderful to have you back, if even for a short time. The last one, the last stone, represents the unspoken joys and sorrows in our hearts. May we hold these and each other in love and tenderness, so that this fellowship may be a source and continue to be a source of strength and comfort, courage and hope in the days and weeks ahead. No matter what we think happens or doesn't happen, it doesn't matter. These are times when we just need to love each other and know that the best of all of us is still there, and you can feel it. Thank you. Take a few moments of silent reflection, which will be followed by meditative music from Jim. Thank you. Thank you, Jim. I'm now happy to introduce Reverend Ann Barker again. In addition to being our pastoral care specialist, for those that you don't know, Rev Ann has a fascinating background. A couple of things. She's a doctor of ministry, master of arts and religion, focusing on pastoral ministry. She's a level 3 Reiki practitioner, and she has been especially helpful lately with our community in helping us sorting out our feelings. Welcome, Reverend Ann.
That, dear ones, was 15 minutes of silence. Silence is a very difficult commodity to come by in our society. Everything is filled with noise. Our homes with TV and radio and CD playing. Our malls are just a blast of noise. Every store playing its own tune. I promised our waitress this yesterday. We were up at the Sarasota Mall, did our errands, and decided we'll have lunch at George's Garden Cafe. We have found the food there good. The service is somewhat slow, but for us, that's perfect. And we forgot about the noise. We were seated where the bar noise was coming at us this way, and the restaurant noise was coming at us this way. And I asked the waitress, could the noise be turned down? The music is so loud. Oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am. We can't do that. And so I mentioned to her that I would use this restaurant as an example in my sermon because I was going to be... Now, that was not a threat. It was a promise. And she said, well, give me a minute. She scuttles off, comes back, and sure enough, the noise is being turned down somewhat. The manager did allow that was possible. And we were able to eat our lunch in much more comfort, and we could actually hear each other talk. Now, I know it's boring to begin a talk by clarifying the meaning of words, but I think it helps us understand better. When I speak of the soul, I am referring to the non-material essence of a person or being, which includes identity, personality, and memories, which gives life and energy to the being. It includes a person's deeply held moral values and emotional nature. For some, it may be the place within them where their essence and the essence of the divine reside together. While people think of a person as having a soul, Native Americans and other earth-based spiritualities believe animals and even inanimate objects have souls that should be respected. Soul work is the ongoing creative process of tending our soul that may bring healing, self-inquiry, activism, self-expression in the arts, and the inner peace in our day-to-day lives. Persons may use ritual, ceremony, visioning, and dream work to enhance the process. As a person's soul becomes better understood, it serves as a voice of guidance it leads to better communication and a deeper relationship with self and others. Make no mistake, soul work is on many levels very difficult work. Listening to our inner being, often through meditation of one type or another, is part of that work. It may be Buddhist meditation, transcendental meditation, movement meditation, or progressive meditation. It is up to the individual to find the form that works best for them, but it needs to be a form that helps to quiet that monkey mind, to allow the inner self to speak its truth. I have been practicing centering prayer for a few years, and I find that brief quiet stills my soul. The benefits of meditation are reduced stress, improved attention, better sleep, lower blood pressure, better ability to adapt to emotional problems, and greater compassion for the self and others. One often not mentioned is the gradual and gentle but powerful healing within the soul of past trauma, persistent unproductive habits, and even debilitating poor self-concept. When we listen to our soul and its messages, we can let go of our demons and enjoy life. Simultaneously, something else may be going on. We may desire to deeply listen to others. This, however, is even greater work because we must first give up our love of judging and assuming we know what others are thinking and feeling. We need to become very comfortable with silence in order to open up the space to deep listening. It is estimated that people talk between 140 and 180 words per minute, but a person can listen to about 400 or more words per minute. We often use that gap in time to form ideas about what the speaker's saying, usually before they've even finished speaking. We formulate responses, such as a story about a similar event from our own lives. We prepare to counter their arguments with one of our own, or worse yet, talk over them. I watched this happen just last week when a friend started talking over another who was sharing her concerns for North Carolina neighbors who had been seriously affected by Helene. Repeatedly, she broke in with her thoughts about coastal living here in Florida and her experience during Ian. It was hurtful to watch as the communication went on for several minutes, but it wasn't really communication. It's a perfect example of the lack of deep listening. And in that time, I realized how often I do the same thing in conversations. When my intent is to deeply listen, but I quickly get caught up in my own thoughts and experiences. Here are a few suggestions to improve our capacity for deep listening. Place the other, the speaker, at the center of our communication. We are present for the speaker. Emphasize the here and now. Avoid reassuring cliches that might minimize the significance of the feelings and convey a lack of understanding, such as, oh, we all feel that way sometimes. Everything will work out. The universe has a perfect plan, and everything will be fine. Focus on the feelings. Ask the speaker to describe in words how they are feeling right now. Remember, again, deep listening is focused on the speaker. Balance words and silence. And this is the toughie. Use silence to slow the pace of conversation. Each of you in the conversation needs silence to reflect on what is being shared. The speaker can do their internal work during this quiet time, which is part of the process of deep listening. Show empathy and respect. Empathy is doing our best to see the world or the situation from the perspective of the speaker. Respect is offering regard for the speaker's perceptions, opinions, feelings, needs, and personhood, even if we do not share them. Simple phrases such as, "I do understand what you are saying. This must be a very difficult time for you." Or, "Thank you for sharing so openly with me." Henry Nouwen said, "To listen is very hard because it asks of us so much interior stability that we no longer need to prove ourselves by speeches, arguments, statements, or declarations. True listeners no longer have an inner need to make their presence known. They are free to receive, to welcome, and to accept." Now, one way I think of deep listening on the bottom of your order of service is a diagram the UUA is now using as a representation of its values. There's a poster version of it up here, and the words that go with it up here. Now look at it. There's the flaming chalice, symbol of UUism worldwide, and one 4-letter word, love. Now, if I were to try to define love, we'd be here well past next Sunday. So I won't try to do that. But the kind of love I'm talking about is self-sacrificing love, putting ourselves aside to love the other. It's not that warm, fuzzy feeling that we're with when we are with a beloved. This is a much tougher kind of love. I would like to highlight one of the petals that feed the flame of love. The purple one, the purple one there toward the right hand bottom is transformation. Listening deeply to ourselves through meditative practice can lead to a profound inner transformation that brings about changes in our self-concept, behavior, and interaction with others. We may well begin to enjoy life more, stress less, and feel healthier in body, mind, and spirit. We may be unaware at first that hurts from our past, negative events in childhood, and the need to justify ourselves will begin to bother us less and even dissipate. We can live more freely. Deep listening to others can transform our relationships and the health of our families and our congregations. When a person feels positively about themselves, they can set aside personal wants and desires and listen to those of the other clearly. One can be open to seeing other perspectives and values and even begin to seek compromise when possible. Deep listening is the focal practice for this month as set out by the Soul Matters program. And I would invite you to consider tuning up your listening skills. May it be so.
I feel like we should listen to the silence for a minute before we start this hymn. Thank you, Reverend Ann. That was wonderful. Yeah, and much needed. Please rise in body or spirit and join us in hymn number 1008 in the Teal hymnal, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. I'm impressed with those of you who are pretty new here and are able to flip back and forth like that without getting lost. That was a challenge. In our tradition, congregations exist because of the generous support of members and friends. It is our privilege and our responsibility to ensure the health and future of this fellowship. To this end, your offerings support our ministry, whether by pledge or donation, or maybe also offered online. Several ways you can give. The baskets that are being passed around by Trudy and Cheryl. You can mail checks to the office, drop them in the mailbox, or you can also, if you like your cell phones, we've got a Venmo map. You can go to UUFCC offering and pay through the Venmo map on your phones. However, so your generosity is always appreciated. And if you're here for the first time, please don't feel obligated to give. Your presence is our gift. Thank you. Okay, Jim. Thank you. Thank you, Jim. Wow. I'm listening. Now it's time to highlight UUFCC's special events and activities. On your back of your thing here, you will see more than what I have here. This was the original, but there's a lot of events on the back of this. Please remember also to check your weekly UUFCC updates. There's a lot of cool stuff in there and things that you can be involved with if you like, and things to know about, which is fun. If you aren't getting the updates, please make sure you fill out the form, the white one, by the welcome desk there if you haven't already. And if not, you can tell Sandy or Anna or whoever's hanging out right now that you're not getting it, because it really is a cool thing. And also, you can you can regularly visit our website by Laura Lehrman and our partner Laura Anderson, because you can even do that from Utah. Isn't that amazing? So they work hard on that, and we can appreciate the work that you do. If you, additionally, if you'd like to put fellowship events or things that you think are important, you can email them to the worship associates like me, and we all get it at bookoflife@uufcc.org. Today I have the following announcements. How many of you know your community connection group, your geographical group for things like hurricanes? Raise your hand if you know. Oh, boy. Okay. Each of you, if you don't know it, feel free to call myself or Laura Anderson if you don't know your group. But we have groups of like 5 to 7 people that live in the same geographical area, so that if you have problems during hurricane times, you can get close and check on each other and see how you're doing. It's really helpful. And if you don't have anything, please do contact me or Laura Anderson, and we'll get you hooked up, okay? And use your people. Check in on each other. We're all going to need this week. It's and if you have extra oars or things like that, feel free to call and put it in. Let us know at the office, and we'll say, this is where you go, Next thing is we're updating our rides list. We have a list of people who can give rides to people that need, can't get to the service or want to go to a special event that we have or something or that's going on. We're going to update that, put a notice on the bulletin board out there. So watch for that if you can give a ride to folks. Or if you have a boat that you can pass up. I can't get this out of my head, so. And on Wednesday, the activities like hearing committee and stuff are not going to happen, so we're canceling all activities for Wednesday. And that's important. Other announcements? Yes. Come on down, Shelley.
I'm seriously losing my memory. I don't, well, during the entire thing, I have to tell Lori we'll have an announcement. I kept forgetting. So a couple of things. One is our yoga that starts tomorrow is not starting tomorrow. I could not get enough people to make it work right now. So we have postponed the beginning until November 4th, where I think more people will be here, and hopefully all these hurricanes and nasty storms will be behind us. The second one is, and I realize there might be an issue with this date. I set it up thinking, as you know, I'm heading up the auction for this year, and it's going to be on March 1st, 2025, the theme being Mardi Gras. But I set the initial meeting on November 1st, which is Friday at 5 p.m. There are a couple of you guys who are canvassing and very, very busy in front of the November election. And so please let me know if that date really doesn't work for a majority of people, and I will reschedule it. It's not like it's imminent and that I have to talk to you right now, okay? So that's pretty much all I had.
Before you leave, do you have to know a lot of yoga to be involved in this, or can you be a beginner?
No, you do not. Jim is absolutely amazing in the amount of instruction he gives for you, and you go at your own pace. It's always been a rule in yoga that you do what you can do. And it's very uplifting, and it's a wonderful experience for anybody who hasn't gone to Jim's yoga. He's
this Jim.
No. The music is his yoga.
Yes.
Yes, it is. And so anybody can go, and it is a wonderful experience. We have mats in front, and we have blocks, and we have all kinds of different things that you can use to do this. So I'm encouraging everybody to come. It's a Monday afternoon at 3 o'clock to 3:45. So, and it's raining like hell. I'm gone.
Okay. Thank you. Any other announcements? Okay. All right. Our closing words today are also by Soul Matters. This is called A Listening That Leads by Reverend Joe Cleveland. May we be a people of deep listening, committed listening. A listening that leads to healing. A listening that leads to wholeheartedness. A listening that helps us grow in compassion. A listening that helps you discern an action for justice making that you can make. A listening that nurtures the self-change. May you find your practice of listening to be a blessing for yourself. May your listening be a blessing to others. Listen. Now we will extinguish the chalice and the ones at home, but not the light of hope, the fire of commitment, or the warmth of community. May those ideals warm our hearts until we are together again. Go now in peace. We'll now have a benediction by Reverend Ann. Thank you, Crystal.
I call upon the creative life force energy of the universe known by many names or no names. And I ask in this particularly difficult time that we might all feel that love and support within us and around us. And may we believe all will be well, and all will be well, and all manner of things will be well. Amen, and blessed be. And just one more thing. Unitarian Universalists are the people Mr. Rogers talked about, the helpers. You are fantastic helpers. But remember, you need to accept help if you need. If you need anything, call someone in this fellowship and ask for what you need. It is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of bravery in the face of danger.
Thank you, Reverend Ann. Please join us now for hymn number 1010, We Give Thanks, which is in the gray hymnal. And also we are having a potluck after teal hymnal, sorry. Thank you, I listened to you. Please join us for the potluck afterwards, and we could also use a few hands cleaning up. Thank you.